Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Erica. There is Cassie. And here is Saori. We're waiting for the bus so that we could take the bus with Cassie so she can learn how to take it in the morning. So we are waiting at the end of the fraccionamiento. That's where we live. And we're waiting here at the corner and it's coming. We're off the bus and walking to Cassie's school.
School life.
What you say?
I went to school like crazy.
Little outside kitchen.
What is this?
Es aníspero. Tree. Guayabas. These guayaba trees. Pomegranate.
No, be careful. Don't point it at the floor.
The pomegranates look beautiful though. They're huge.
And if you let them in your house, they're gonna bite. Mommy, if you let them in your house, they're gonna bite.
That chicken's gonna go study too, look. What I've seen, there's a lot of blue houses or fences here in this little rancho. So I was talking to Cassie's teacher because they had a meeting on Friday and I didn't come because they didn't tell us on time. And we have to pay 130 pesos for the internet for the whole year, each parent. Then we have to pay.
And I wasn't there either.
400 pesos for the school inscriptions and 185 pesos for, this is a school where they use computers, so they're gonna show them Word, Microsoft, and a couple more things. So you have to pay that amount by October 14th. And then they're gonna give us a uniform, and then we have to buy a uniform. So we have to buy the formal uniform, and then the state will give us the sweatpants with this little like rain jacket, it looks like. But right now we are heading. So we're walking from Cassie's school. So this is where the natural spring water is, and they have it closed so no dogs or no animals go in there. There's the árbol de la pata de vaca or de burro. And look at that beautiful limón. Okay, we're gonna continue to the property. When you walk, you see the best things happening. Look at that chayote. Oh my God, they're like the size of my hand. I don't know if you guys could see that one too. They're humongous. Oh my God, those are like the biggest chayotes I've ever seen. And they're growing up a tree. And the plant's all the way up there. More blue. So we're gonna fit in at that blue house.
I'm gonna have my own bed.
Saudi said her legs hurt the whole way up. We're climbing. So she said her little legs hurt. It didn't rain in Moroleón yesterday, but it looks like it rained here. It's wet. I love this cactus tree. It's getting tunas. See them right there?
Wet.
Yep. Looks like it rained, right?
And I don't want to go in muddy puddles.
Gusano.
Let me see.
It's a black one. When we left the house, it was some 57 degrees Fahrenheit. I had a sweater on. Now that we're walking, I'm hot, so I had to take it off. I'm already sweating. This is what they worked on. One of the guys did it for 3 days. Jose and the crew worked on here for 1 day. That did cover the holes a lot.
Mommy, I got on this side. Look.
He did an awesome job right here.
Mommy, I got on this side, but this side is a little bit better, right?
It's not that bad of a walk from Cassie's school to here. The only thing it's incline. We gotta go up the hill. Going down is easy. Going up is a little tough. And then we haven't been walking either, so that doesn't help. Because we're already here at the properties. Oh, there's my car. Friends, I was at home drinking coffee and some pan, and the teacher came to tell me that Cassie had an epileptic attack. Please say a prayer for her if you guys can. I'm on my way to the school right now, but please say a prayer. You okay? Hi friends, we are currently at the hospital with Cassie. Please say a prayer for her. I was at home drinking my coffee and my pan, and then the teacher came and was knocking on the door really hard. I went to look and see what was going on, and he said that Cassie had an epileptic attack at school. I went back to the school and she was stable, but they did send us to the hospital. She is under observation and having blood work done. She's got IV right now, so please say a prayer if you guys can, so that everything comes out good and it was just hopefully a panic attack or something else and not an actual epileptic attack. How are you feeling?
My head hurts.
She says her head hurts really bad, so we're not sure how long we're gonna be. But she did okay for me to show you guys that we are here. So please, if you guys could say a prayer for her, that would be appreciated. Hopefully the test, they did blood work on her and they couldn't find her veins. They had to poke her 3 times. Hopefully those lab results come back good. Yeah, she got poked a few times. So we are here. The kids are at home and Jose's working. Like I said, I was at home. I was gonna be heading to the property, but here we are. An emergency arose, and here we are with Cassie. So we will keep you guys posted on what they tell us. She's currently sleeping with medication. So we are out of the hospital. We just came with Cassie. She has to get an MRI done. I have to pay 2,600 pesos for it, but it's a lot of money. But I need results. We need to see what's going on with her head and why she got the epileptic attack. So I have to pay it. I have to pay it. It's for her own health, and we're hoping everything comes out good. But right now we have to go back to the hospital so they can read the results, because they don't have testing at the same hospital. So we had the MRI done, and now we are waiting at the hospital again so they can read. But Cassie's feeling better.
Yeah, thanks to God.
We do have her MRIs, and they're gonna tell us what's wrong, so I'll keep you guys posted.
El dolor de cabeza puede ser frecuente, nada más ver que no exceda, que no es un dolor de cabeza 10 de 10, es decir, insoportable. Alright friends, since yesterday I didn't finish my video, let me finish it today while I make breakfast for my husband.
I'm gonna make breakfast.
You're gonna make breakfast too?
Yeah.
So yesterday when I was here at home, I was having my coffee and some pan, and all of a sudden I hear the door, just somebody banging at my door really hard. I didn't even have time to get up from my chair when they started banging again, so I got a little, I'm like, who is it? Why are they knocking like that in my house? So I go to the door. It was a teacher, Cassie's teacher. He said that
Do you wanna check
he was
this?
Cassie's teacher, and I said, how can I help you? And he said,
Smell it.
he said, Cassie had epilepsy attack at school, and the ambulance is there, and they need you. We tried to call you, but you didn't answer. I didn't have no phone calls. Well, they called the wrong. Okay. Shh. They called the wrong number. I think because they were all scared. They all freaked out just as much as I did. Well, I went into kind of like a shock when they called me, or when he knocked on the door. I just stood there. I didn't know what to do. And all of a sudden I said, oh, let me get my keys so I can go. Well, I had to go, but my brain was just like, it caught me off guard. We headed to the school. The teacher was flying. I mean, I was following and he was flying. We got to the school. Cassie was on the ground. I went straight to her to check how she was doing. When she seen me, I touched her face and she started crying. I said, are you okay? She said, what's wrong? She said, my head hurts. My head hurts. But she didn't know what happened. So the ambulance people started telling me what was going on, what had happened. The teacher started explaining to me that she was in class and all of a sudden her legs started shaking and that she like bent down to kind of like fix it. But then it started shaking harder and her lips started like twitching.
Yeah.
So she got up and the teacher ran and he caught her.
Like purple, right?
He said that she hit her head like on his shoulder when he caught her, but then that was it. And
Like purple, right?
and then he put her down on the floor and he told some students to go get his sweaters and he put them on her head as a pillow so she wouldn't get hurt. And that's when they tried to call me, but they said I didn't answer. But we checked the phone number and it was the wrong phone number. And at first I told them that was the right phone number, but I couldn't think. I was freaking out. I have 6 kids that I birthed and then 2 stepkids. And never in my life have I seen or have I had any of my kids do it. I seen that before happen when I used to work at a daycare center with one of the mommies, and we knew what to do, but I never knew or I never expected to happen to one of my kids. After the people from the ambulance explained to me what was going on, what had to happen, they told me if they wanted me to take her on the ambulance or if I wanted to take her to the hospital because I had to go take her for like a follow-up. I said, well, because at this time she was already walking. She was very dizzy, but she was already up and holding on to me. So we just left to the hospital. The teacher helped me put her in the car and they took her stuff and put it in the car for me as well. And the teacher drove in front of me to take me to the hospital where I had to take her. And they were very nice. The teacher, he went all the way to the hospital and told them what happened. So basically, because I was there, but I wasn't really there. You know, I was freaking out. And we got to the hospital at 9:40. Mind you that Cassie starts school at 8. By 9:40, we were already at the hospital. So this happened right away. The teacher said he was talking about the importance of September 16th. Because, you know, here in Mexico, it's a very big day. And then all of a sudden, everything started happening. They did tell me that it could be from either stress, depression, or like an anxiety attack. That some people do get anxiety attacks and that they do confuse anxiety attacks for epilepsy attacks. When we got to the hospital, as soon as we got there, they got her in. They took her vitals and then they took her to the room. They had me change her. Her head was hurting her a lot. They started administering. No, they were gonna take blood. they couldn't find her veins. They had to poke her 3 times. They finally found it, and then they couldn't stop the bleed. And then they started administering IV. They gave her a pain medication through the IV, and then they gave her some medication to protect her brain in case of the seizure that she had, so it wouldn't keep damaging it. We were there until around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they sent us to go get a MRI of her brain. They don't have, like I said, here in Mexico, they don't have everything that's needed. So we had to go and get it, but they told me to come back at 3:45 to get it. So I had to take some samples for Saori because she has her follow-up appointment this Thursday as well. And since I was gonna go, all I did was come home and I laid in my bed. My head was just, oh yeah, my head was just everywhere. I laid in my bed, and it was not that long. We stayed here for maybe about 30-40 minutes at the most, and then we had to go back to go pick up the MRI and to take Saori's test lab work that she had to get done into the doctor. After they gave us the MRI, we headed back to the hospital because they had to read the results, and I had to take her to the hospital where she got seen. Even though she was at the emergency room this whole time, I did have to take her there as well. Well, then they had a lot of accidents. They had a lot was going on at the hospital, so they were taking a long time. So we didn't get out of there until 8:30. But thank God, thanks for all the prayers. I called my daughters, my son, my sister, and all the prayers. They didn't find anything major in her brain. They didn't see anything that is causing whatever happened yesterday. They said that it's not that they can see any fracture on her skull or like any bruising from before or anything major. When I was at the hospital, I was praying. I had already told my kids what was going on, so they can keep her in her prayer so that we could all pray together. I am a believer in prayer and the power of prayer. And I opened Facebook, and there was this beautiful prayer that came up as soon as I opened it about a miracle happening. Something was going on, and there was going to be a miracle happening, and whatever the person was going through was going to be healed. And this was still at the hospital in the morning. So when we went to the hospital in the afternoon or in the nighttime, and by this time Jose had not had lunch. I had our car, and usually I take lunch for him. Well, this day I couldn't take him lunch because I was back and forth with the hospital, and Cassie said, "Go, mommy, go see Jose." And I said, "No, I'm gonna stay here with you." So I stayed because she was like on and off. She would knock out sleeping, and then she would wake up and talk to me for a little bit, and she would go to sleep. And they told me that was secondary effects from whatever happened to her. So I called Jose and I said, "Did you eat something?" He lied to me. He told me he didn't, but he said that because I called him when everything was happening, and he told me, "Relax, try not to stress out because I don't want to have 2 people that have accidents or any kind of issue or anything at the same time." He's like, "You can't get sick because you're worried." He's like, "You need to calm down. It's going to be okay. The ambulance is already there," because I called him when I was going to the school. And so I told him, "How you guys going to eat?" I didn't take him no lunch. And then he tells me, when I called him to ask him if he had already eaten, he said yes. And he said when I got home, he told me he didn't even eat, that he didn't even have water, that they didn't. The guy that usually goes up there, he didn't go. So they didn't have no water, no food. He said the maestro had 3 or 4 quesadillas and he gave him one and that's what he ate, which I'm very grateful for that. But he told me that he had already eaten, so I didn't worry because I was too worried already for what was going on. But thank God, friends, when they read the MRI, they did tell me they didn't find anything major. I do have to follow up with an appointment on the 24th for her to see. So I got to take her to a pediatrician so they can see what's going on, to see if they can see more. And then she is taking some medication for her brain to help it relax. She has to take twice a day for now until we go back to the doctor, and then they tell us what's our next procedure or our next process to follow for her. Yesterday, when we got home, she was acting normal. Jose talked to her and told her, you have to make sure that you eat. Don't listen to the kids. So I guess I told the teacher that when I was in school, I guess she had heard some kids saying that she was chunky and that she had big cheeks. I don't know if that like pushed her into. I told you guys she's been exercising and or bike riding and walking more, and she hasn't been eating junk food anymore. So she's lost quite a few pounds and kilos. But she told me about these kids, and I told the teachers. So this morning when I dropped her off, the teacher came to me and talked to me and told me that they won't put her in gym, so she's not going to be doing gym, at least until we take her back for a follow-up appointment, until the doctor tells us what's going on. He did say that he addressed the whole team about bullying. And it was not that they told her in her face, but they were talking about it and she heard it. And this was the first day of school. So she wasn't eating as she should. They're teenagers, or she's not even a teenager, she's 12. So she's stopped eating. She hadn't eaten as much. And even last night when we got home, I made her some tacos de huevo because I didn't have anything. We got home at almost 8:30 at night. All I wanted to do was just rest. So I made him some huevitos and I put them in a tortilla, and she only ate one taco. She's like, "Mom, my stomach hurts." But I think it was because all the medication they gave her as well. But when I was talking to the teacher this morning, he told me that he had addressed the whole team and then he wanted to know who the kids were that had said it. These girls had just passed. It was 2 girls. They had just passed and said good morning. And I said it was those 2 girls. And he said those girls have already been on a list. He said a word. Because I guess they've done that before. And one of them was already expelled from school. But they took her back with paperwork signing that if something else happens, she had to leave and she wasn't going to be able to come back. That the parents were already involved in everything. So I don't remember the word that he said, but he conditioned. He said that they were already conditioned. I was like, what is that? Because I don't know these vocabulary words here. And he said that means that if they do something else, they won't be allowed back into school. And I said, well, Cassie did tell me that she wasn't going to mind them anymore, that she didn't care what they said, that the first day, because she was nervous, and I think that's why she was a little upset about it. We didn't really tell you guys because she didn't want to say nothing, Yesterday she told me, or for the video that I recorded, she told me it was okay if I recorded while we were in the hospital and everything, so I did. But sometimes she just wants to keep it more personal. She did let me know though the first day. So we were just keeping an eye on what was going on. And the teacher told me that he can talk to those girls and basically throw them out of school. And I said, no, Cassie said, she doesn't want that to happen. she doesn't want kids to not go to school because of something they did. That they just should just rectify what they did, So they do have one more opportunity. Next time that they hear them doing anything that they're not supposed to, they are gonna be taken out of school because the way they act. So I guess he didn't tell me what they did before, but he did tell me they were on the blacklist basically. The doctors yesterday were talking to Cassie and telling her, that they shouldn't be listening, because that's the first thing. The first thing I told the teacher was, because they said depression or not eating. I said, well, she stopped eating as much as she was eating before because she heard some of the kids here in school saying that she was fat and she had big cheeks. And they were like, I don't know if they didn't believe it or what, but then when I told them this morning who it was, I think it just was like, oh, they've done it before. He did tell me. But like I said, Cassie said that she's not going to listen to them after the doctor talked to her, and the doctor had very hairy hands. And she said that they used to call her a monkey when she was in school, and that she wasn't listening to the kids. At first she was, and she was traumatized, but then her mom told her, you know what, tell them that, okay, I'm a monkey, and that's it. And I told Cassie, I said, if they say something to you, tell them, hey, at least I eat food, I eat good, and I wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but when it comes to my kids, they're my kids. And you guys know, I'll do anything for my kids. But thank God, like I said, Cassie is doing much better today. She woke up good. Like I said, she did bite her tongue, and she says that it hurts, and it hurts on both sides because I don't know how many times she bit it, but it does. She did. The teacher told me that she was bleeding yesterday when they put her on the floor. So she said her mouth was hurting. She said her head was not hurting anymore. She felt a little bit dizzy this morning. So I asked her, you want to stay home, just so that we can keep an eye on you? And she said, no, mommy, I feel good now. I'm going to go to school. She ate an apple and her medication. And she said she was feeling good. I do have to make sure that she eats breakfast every day because she does have to take her medication. Usually she'll just take lunch, but they eat lunch at like 10 something. So it's not really that many hours that they've been in school before they eat. But I do have to make sure that she eats at least something before she goes to school daily. Okay. But she did go to school, and she was happy to go back to school. She even asked me yesterday, am I going to go back to school? I said, we're still in the hospital, and the school is almost over. So I did ask her, though, if she wanted to stay. But the teacher did tell me that they're not going to let her do gym. And then they do some projects more outside with the kids, too, that they're going to have her sit down for now, at least, until we find out what's going on. Because he said they got super scared, too. He said that they were so scared because they've never seen it happen. The teacher said, I thought she was just going to die on me because, I've never seen this happen. But they were very helpful. We did go get the MRI. The MRI, we paid 2,600 pesos. The hospital, we didn't pay anything because if you don't have insurance here in Mexico, you do have to take a paper. They ask you for a paper that basically says that you don't have any other insurance so that they can take you. And we didn't have it at the beginning when we got there, but then when I went to go take the MRI, I did have it because I went and got it printed out. So I didn't have to pay anything from the hospital, but I did have to pay the MRI. Her medication was also free. But it's worth it. I mean, finding out that, thank God, her brain looks good, it just makes me so happy. But thanks for all the prayers that we asked for. Thanks for all the support. And thanks for everything you guys do for us. Just wanted to give you guys a little update. It is hard because, like I said, we've never gone through anything like this. But God is on our side. And I know everything's going to be okay. So thank you for your prayers. Thank you for all your support. We hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. We didn't do much, if anything. We were basically in the hospital all day long since 9:40 until 8:30 at night. So I just wanted to share something that happened to our family. We don't have to, but we do like to keep you guys in the loop. Like I said, I didn't go to the property. I didn't do anything. I didn't cook anything. I stopped at the store because Cassie hadn't eaten breakfast when we got out of the hospital. Neither did I. So we went and we bought a chicken and we ate a taco or two, a rotisserie chicken, and we bought a taco. We ate a taco or two before we got to the MRI. So that's pretty much all we ate. And then at nighttime when I got home and I fed them, like I said, I made some huevitos. That's what I had. That's what they ate. But I did feed them and we got through it. Thank God she's doing great. But we will see what the results from or the follow-up doctor tells us. I still have to take the MRIs back and everything. So please continue your prayers if you guys can, so that everything comes out normal and that it was just a one-time thing, that it doesn't happen again. Thanks for your support. We love you, and thanks for being a part of our channel.